Today we're going to be reading the expository nonfiction text of Virtual Worlds, Community in a Computer. Remember, we have read previous expository nonfiction books in Shattering Earthquakes, Animal Senses, and Slinky, Scaly, Slithery Snakes. For today's article, Virtual Worlds, Community in a Computer, notice how the author has used different text features. We have our heading of pros, which means an argument for, and cons, which is an argument against. Virtual worlds, community in a computer. These days, you don't have to leave your home to have fun or to play with other people. Within the world of a video game, a person can kick a virtual soccer ball, defeat a virtual army, or build a virtual city. Two players from opposite sides of the world can team up, create plans, and work together. Video games are played in 2 out of 3 households in the United States. These games have never been more popular or controversial. Some people say video games can help players learn skills such as quick thinking and problem solving. But there is also evidence that gaming can be harmful to players' health and other parts of their lives. Cons or pros. Teamwork and community. For people who are shy, video gaming can be a way to learn how to interact with others. Massively multiplayer online games, or MMOGs, are video games that allow thousands of players around the world to play the same video game at one time. Often, each MMOG player creates a virtual character that interacts with other players' characters in the virtual world. Players work together to accomplish goals. For example, building cities or defeating an army. In order to be successful in an MMOG game, players have to spend a lot of time playing and cooperating with other players. Improved motor skills. There is evidence that video gaming may improve motor skills, boosting your ability to use your muscles to do things. Gaming may also improve your hand-eye coordination, or how well your eyes and hands work together. Playing video games may also help increase your speed in responding to a situation. This can help with all kinds of real-world activities. Some video game programs even simulate or imitate certain activities to help people practice skills they will need in their careers. Using video games called simulation programs, airline pilots, firefighters, and police officers can practice skills needed for their jobs. The more the people can practice these skills, the more confident and better they become at using them in real life. Problem solving. In the United States, intelligence test scores are rising higher than ever before. Some researchers say that one reason could be video gaming. Virtual games present a series of problems that players must solve to succeed in the game. Like anything else that is mentally challenging, this could make people smarter. In fast-paced modern world, where decisions often need to be made quickly, young people could be learning skills that will help them to succeed in the future. Playing to learn. If video games could be used in the classroom, perhaps students would also be able to pay more attention to what they're learning. For example, when learning about a historical event such as a battle, students could put themselves in the place of the soldiers to understand the situation better. Here, the caption reads, "A pilot using a simulation program can practice skills such as performing an emergency landing without getting hurt." Now for the cons. Real-world isolation. Video game critics worry that young people who spend too much time playing video games might not learn important social skills needed to make friends and succeed in the real world. Interacting with a person in an online video game is very different from interacting with a person face-to-face. The etiquette, or how someone is expected to behave, is different within each setting. So while a person might feel comfortable or feel confident and make friends easily within the virtual world, outside of that world, he or she might feel increasingly shy and have trouble talking to people. Health risks. Apart from exercising the hands and wrists, video gaming isn't a physical activity. Young people who spend hours gaming each day may not get enough exercise. One study found that teens who played video games ate more food, which could lead to overeating and weight problems over time. Doctors have also found that some gamers complain of eye strain, headaches, and wrist pain. People who spend hours playing these games can develop problems such as RSI, which is repetitive strain injury, which occurs when a person repeats the same action over and over for hours. Additionally, some people argue that since gamers can engage in dangerous behavior, such as racing cars at fast speeds, within the game world without worrying about hurting themselves or others, they might feel encouraged to take dangerous risks in real life. Violent tendencies. Critics argue that violent video games can encourage players to solve problems using violence. A 2011 study monitoring brain reaction to violent video games found that the brains of people who played violent video games were less sensitive to violence than the brains of players of non-violent video games. Because their brains were less sensitive to violence, players of violent video games were more likely to respond to situations with aggression. Behind on the books. Teachers worry that students who spend hours playing video games may fall behind on schoolwork. There is also a risk that using video games as learning tools would keep students from learning the importance of reading and using their imaginations. Reading helps people learn and think about information independently. Though through reading, a person uses his or her imagination to understand ideas. Educational video games in classrooms might discourage students from learning how to think imaginatively. The caption reads here, "It's easy to lose track of time during an intense video game session, which means that schoolwork can suffer."